Hey guys, so for one reason or another, there have been a ton of poke shops popping up in and around my neighborhood lately, and during their opening days, I did give the fish poke a try just because I wanted to try out, their signature dish, but also to get a comparison between how the fish poke tasted like and then how they make their tofu poke, which surprisingly I find just as good. But really, I think what makes the dish is kind of that soy sesame dressing. I think that is what brings all of the vegetables and the whole bowl together. So I think as long as you had that, you're pretty much golden. So I can't wait to show you guys this recipe. So let's head over to the kitchen and then let's get started. Okay guys, so we're gonna start off with the marinade for the tofu first. So in go 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, followed by 1 teaspoon of rice wine vinegar. And rice wine vinegar is nice because it's not overly acidic, it's more of like a gentle vinegar. And then followed by that 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and you're just gonna mix it all around. So I'm gonna tell you first, we're gonna use firm tofu. If you want the tofu to fully absorb all of the soy sauce mixture, I would recommend after you cube them up to put them between 2 kind of paper towels and then put a little bit of weight on them and keep them there for like 2 to 3 hours just to get rid of all of that moisture first, because after that it has more of an ability to absorb all of the sauce from the soy sauce as well. So you just want to cut them up into cubes. Again, if you want to do that, do that. If you don't have enough time, I was a little bit lazy here, just put that into the soy sauce, and then to that I'm going to add about 1 scallion, just the white parts, and that's just going to be just for flavor. So you want to toss them around and be careful about tossing because they do have a tendency to crumble. Afterwards you just want to cover them and then leave them in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours, but if you want maximum flavor, definitely overnight. You can make it for dinner or for lunch for the following day. Now, time for the rice. You're essentially making sushi rice, so it's going to be about 1 tablespoon of salt and then 2 tablespoons of sugar. Followed by that, you want to do about 2 to 3 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, depending on how sour you like it. I would actually recommend bringing this mixture to a boil because sometimes the salt and the sugar doesn't dissolve, so you end up tasting it later. So I made about a cup and a half of brown rice that I cooked and I cooled. It's still maybe a little bit warm right now. You don't have to make it overnight. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of gently spoon over. For me, it took about 2 tablespoons of the vinegar mixture to get it to the acidity that I wanted it to. So you can just see I'm just cutting it through, kind of folding it around, and then putting that aside. The rest of this vinegar mixture will be for the vegetables that you will be preparing soon. So next thing is the wonton skins. So I had a couple of, I'd say use about like 10 sheets, some old wonton skins, and I just shredded them up and put a little bit of olive oil, and this goes in a 350-degree oven for, I would say, about 10 minutes, but you have to kind of check on them, make sure that they don't burn. At which point you guys can start preparing your vegetables. So traditional poke bowls might have, your pickled onions, some cucumbers, but really the sky is the limit when it comes to, whatever you want in it. If you guys happen to see my Vietnamese spring roll special, you know that sometimes I just like to use a peeler and just peel the vegetables like this. That way I get them nice and thin and small, and then they end up absorbing kind of that pickling liquid better. So this is a zucchini. I did some with carrots. I also am julienning an onion on the long side. So 1 onion, probably a large carrot and a zucchini or a cucumber, because when you shave them you get kind of a lot of pieces. So a couple tablespoons of that same vinegar liquid went in, and you just kind of want to let these soak for I'd say like a half an hour to an hour. If you want to do more, I started kind of julienning and making some matchstick carrots, and then I also eventually added in a little bit of edamame that way. So you guys have seen me do this before where I cut scallions into long strips. I like it because it kind of gives a different texture. It has a nice crunch, and I'm not soaking this in any liquid other than just some ice water because that'll make it curl up a little bit and it'll be really pretty to decorate at the end. So that's some dried seaweed to the left. You guys can feel free to use a seaweed salad, and then some of my wonton skins, and then black and white sesame to the right. And really those are just toppings. You can start putting this guy together. So just put it together as you would like. I have a nice bed of rice over there, and then just putting your vegetables up on top. I will say that this bowl is a little bit big. I think I liked how it presented a little bit better when I put it in a big bowl, but this may be able to fit 2 people. So these guys have all been pickled, the ones that I've put down already, and then I'm going to be putting in some of my tofu that has been soaking in that soy sauce mixture. So this is why this dish is nice, is because the tofu is kind of like salty and savory, and then you have the bottom that's a little bit sweet and tangy. And I also had an avocado. So traditional that you put an avocado in here, so you know, you can slice up a couple pieces, and this is what makes also this dish very filling. It has a ton of vegetables, a ton of, you know, plant-based proteins, but it's really filling. So some sesame, some seaweed, and then this is kind of the scallions that we cut up. So it's really nice because it adds height, it adds color, and then it also adds like a nice fresh crunch, a little more wonton skins, and that's really it. It is such a gorgeous and colorful dish, and it's so filling, and you have all of your vegetables, and it's savory and it's sweet and everything. I love poke bowls, and I think that this tofu poke is out of this world. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and remember that if you like and want to see more videos like this, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!